after the album came out, Magic Touch, in 1992, I started getting fan mail from Pakistan, from the older folks, and I was like, hey, I think it actually worked, because I had no idea that this album was going to click with the adults. I thought maybe, yes, the youngsters are going to like it because they like my music, but I had no idea that the traditional Nusrat fans are also going to dig this album, because Kinna Sona came along, fantastic lyrics, such superb vocal, and hey, music was pretty good as well. At the time I was really panicking. I thought, he's a very serious guy, he hardly ever smiles, is he going to like my music? I remember when I made the album, it took me 6 months. He went back to Pakistan after the day one, because he laid every vocal in one take in one afternoon, on a Sunday afternoon, and he went back to Pakistan. So I was left with the job of chopping the vocal up, placing it around, trying a few different styles to see what works. And when I finished the whole album, that was the time when he had heard it. And when we first played him the album, we were sitting in the office. I was my pants, because I thought, is he gonna like it? Because he sat there and he was like, and I thought, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. And then he said, after he heard the songs, he goes, wow, best album I ever heard. Nusrat was definitely one of a kind, because he's got such an extraordinary talent, and only now are people realizing the power he had in his voice, in the way he can capture people's attention by the notes he was hitting. He can go up on a scale, come down on a scale, and a person playing a keyboard couldn't even do that. He just hit certain notes that you wouldn't even want to hit when you're playing a piano or something, or a keyboard. So it was just so amazing, the kind of ideas he had in his head, and the deep lyrics that he always used to come up with, which is what everyone used to go mad at. I mean, if you ever see his shows, people were going mad in the audience. I remember the days when I went to Pakistan. I've been like 3 or 4 times now, and every time I went to Nusrat's house, he always looked after me, made sure I was well looked after, and he always would bring a lot of different friends and say, this is the man that made my album Magic Touch. And that kind of made me feel special, like, you still remember me, and I thought, like, you probably won't remember me after all this time. And things like that really made me think that he's a nice guy. And even when he was to come to my studio in Birmingham, I'd look after him to the max. And he had a real great heart, let's put it that way. He acknowledges if you're a great producer, if you're a great artist. He congratulates you when it's deserved, and that's why we started another project. And sadly, while we're making the project, he passed away. So I've still got the vocals for Magic Touch 2, which is what I'm going to be doing next. And that album is going to take a lot out of me, because not only am I going to be under a lot of pressure because I got to better the first one, but I'm also going to be very worried about, would he have liked it if he was around to this day? Sadly, he won't be around, but I'm going to try my best to put this album together, Magic Touch 2, and I hope the wait's going to be worth it, and I hope he likes it.